Weekend Best Bets.
A bounce back week here, Dave. 1-2 last week. Very rare that our best bets have not been in the green. So I'm expecting this to revert back to the norm and find payday here for us.
Yeah, Scattaboo did not come through for us with the value again, which is a little unfortunate. And we did say that the Raiders game was going to hinge heavily on Geno Smith's ability to not turn the ball over. And he went ahead and turned the ball over plenty. So we had a very big caveat in that one, but it was our place and it did not work out. But we're back. We got 3 more this week, and we're going to pull them up right now. And we're going to start off actually with one of the last games of the week, and it's in Falcons-Bills Monday Night Football, the first game of the doubleheader. Can we please stop doing Monday Night Football doubleheaders? I digress. Anyway, Falcons +5. I talked about this on the solo show on Tuesday a little bit. It was 4.5 then, moving half a point. Kind of a meaningless half a point, 4.5 to 5. Not really much there, but 56.2% probability, 3.2% edge at odds of -113. Bills are going to aim to bounce back here after that letdown against the Patriots. Seemed like they had that game within reach many times and simply couldn't close it out. Turnover heavy game, I believe, from them, at least 2 fumbles, uncharacteristic for the most part of what we've seen from that team this year. Might not work out for them in this game because it's not going to be a very easy matchup. The Falcons defense has had 2 weeks now to rest and prepare for this Bills team. And they're bringing in a very good defense, only 135 yards passing per game allowed by the Falcons. That's pretty locked down. I think it's the best in the league, 78.3 QB rating. And there's no true wide receiver 1 on this Bills offense. So there's no one to really intimidate this Falcons defense into a double team. It should give them plenty of opportunity to just play the game at their pace. And if they can limit the Bills' output on or in the air, it might not be very difficult for them to hold down James Cook, who's coming off of his worst game of the year and first without a score. Another gripe I have with the Bills not letting James Cook in from like the 2-yard line this past week. But it's not a matchup I'm really comfortable going all in on the Bills just because they're the Bills. So I am pretty in with the models pick here. You'd like to maybe see a +6 or something, but I understand why it's not. The Falcons are home and they're well rested. Bijan Robinson is as explosive as anyone in this game. Bills are allowing over 140 rushing yards per game, 5.6 yards per carry. Real nightmare matchup, honestly, on paper here. So I'm very comfortable riding with the Falcons in this game. Feels like maybe the books know something we don't, giving us this number, but the matchup really lines up well for Michael Penix and the Falcons in this one.
Do you trust the Bills, Dave?
I trust the Bills to win in the long term, but in a week-to-week game like this with kind of everything pointing at Atlanta, no, I don't.
The Pats game just felt so uncharacteristic from the Bills in so many ways. And I feel like this is either a total we messed up, flip the script, we're still the Bills spot, or it's kind of a sign of some cracks in the armor here. If the model says cracks in the armor, I should probably just blindly trust that it's cracks in the armor. But I don't know. Something about it. That Pats game felt so fluky to me. Even with all the data, I just have like a sour taste in my mouth to say I'm going to fade Josh Allen this week.
Yeah, it's not one you feel good about doing. It's hard to fade it, the MVP favorite. But sometimes that's where the spots are made. And we've seen the Sean McDermott Bills kind of snowball a little bit before they stop the whole avalanche from coming down. So this just might be another one of those games. It's kind of, early season trap game, so to speak. So I like this one, though. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play all 3 of these as I always do with the model's best bets. But in particular, this one I do like it, despite the Bills.
All right. I'm on number 2 with you. Jags money line against the Seahawks. Give me the pitch for the Jags here, although this Jags team is rolling. I don't know how much convincing we even need to do right now.
Yeah, I don't think you need a whole lot. I think we had to do this last week. You said convince me of the Jags at +4.5 versus the Chiefs, and it was pretty easy to do so, and it turned out that it worked in our favor. 55.9% probability, 3.0% edge here. Neither one of these is a super smash value spot, but you're getting a little bit better of a number. And both the Seahawks and Jaguars in this game, depending where you look, are minus odds. It's pretty much a pick 'em. And for a matchup that's just about 50-50 on the books, with the Seahawks, I think, sitting around -102, -104 last I saw. Model does actually have a pretty definitive pick at just about 56% on the Jaguars. So that's for what on the books is a toss-up. The model's got its pick, and that's usually worked out well for us on the show. Both defenses here are very good. Both teams are 4-1, and it's not a fluky 4-1. They've won some pretty good grinder games. They have a shot at division supremacy, depending what happens with the Colts, Niners, and Rams on Sunday. Got to feel pretty good if you're the Jags coming off the win versus the Chiefs. They get to play at home. A lot at stake in this matchup. You're getting good money line odds. You're not paying a lot of juice here, like a -130, -140. So I think this is a really good spot, good price, and you have to like the Dimer spots edge in this one.
Yep. I just think the Jags are good. I think they're very good. I think they had a very good hire coaching-wise in the offseason that's being really not discussed nearly enough. The locker room just seems flipped mentality-wise, even though they've always had talent. And, yeah, I'm in on this. I think I was surprised to see it basically as a pick 'em, to your point. I would have thought Jags would be favored by almost a field goal here. But I think the more I think about it, it's probably the short week would be my guess. Jags coming off a Monday night emotional win spot-wise. It's probably a little bit scary, but man, I would probably bet this Jags team in any spot right now. And as good as the Seahawks have been this year, I think the Jags have been better. So I am standing in alignment with the model after being afraid. I'm just a coward to fade Josh Allen. I'm right back with you. We are, however, going to present a Seahawks player prop here as our third best bet of the week. Zach Charbonnet to find the end zone, huh? +190.
Yeah, so great value here, not only just on his odds, but also when you look at how he stacks up with Ken Walker in the same game. This is our highest probability touchdown prop that has an edge this week at 39.3% and a 4.8% value. So not a lot of top tier touchdown guys with an edge this week. This would be fair odds of about +150. So clear value there. This season, Charbonnet has 13 red zone carries for 3 touchdowns, exactly the same as Ken Walker. He would have 4 if not for Jackson Smith and Jigba's holding penalty, in which he got a very stern look from the referee with his choice words to describe said penalty. But if you look, Charbonnet's got almost the same touchdown probability as Ken Walker at 42.3%. Yet Walker is -115 odds on the same book at Bet365. It's just simply a huge difference in odds for players projected at just about the same probability. Jags defense has been very good with only 4 rushing scores, but you're getting really good value here. The Seahawks just put up like a 40 piece, I think. There's a good opportunity here for them to score. As mentioned, Charbonnet gets the red zone work that he needs to do this, and the odds are simply incorrect according to the Dimers model. Very good straight bet here on Charbonnet at +190. And if you were crazy enough and you parlay it with the Jaguars money line, you'll get some pretty nice odds because they reverse correlate.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know if goal line back is the term. Maybe red zone back is the term. But I feel like, how many Seahawks games have you watched this year and even years past where Kenneth Walker looks unstoppable and he goes on like a 47-yard reception run and then gets down to the 12-yard line and just immediately goes and gets a Gatorade while Charbonnet punches it in? Yeah. It's kind of like the Lions approach of Sonic and Knuckles. However, I don't know. It just feels like Charbonnet is usually the recipient anytime they get close, and Walker kind of is relied upon on the early downs at the beginning of drives more. I don't know if the numbers even back that up. It's just what my eyes tell me, but I 100% agree with our model's belief that Charbonnet and Walker to score should be around the same odds, and that's not how the sports books have been valuing this whatsoever. So he punched it in last week. I have Charbonnet on every fantasy team I have this year. It can be a week-to-week grind, but for now, plus 190 feels phenomenal. I think you've got to add that on the card.
Yep. So there you go. All three bets for the week: Falcons +5, Jaguars money line, and Zach Charbonnet to score a touchdown.
Boom, baby. I love it. Promo code podcast. That's how you get 50% off Dimers Pro. You get all of these insights for every single NFL game this season and plenty more sports as well. It's not just NFL that our model has best bets for on a day-to-day basis. Make sure you take advantage now. Get that 50% off and join us as we bet our best bets throughout NFL season.